big one anyway.
Yeah. Big and in the middle of nowhere.
No curb here. Have you?
Where you were,
Right.
there is the far side of the
Right.
curb. So the curb would be
Somewhere.
here,
Yeah.
close.
This is probably neutral.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I mean, don't get people moving stuff around. It's that big unless they do something with it. Doesn't seem to be integrated into the wall or anything.
Okay.
There's a slab here, there's a slab right here knocked over, and this is on the road.
But not part of the curb?
Yes. I mean, it's too big for the curb, I think.
You've lost this curb altogether in the open
You start losing your own. This? You think so?
Yeah.
It just got knocked
It's just
over.
falling down, 'cause look, that one's up and that one's up.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's just so big.
It's got a line of
Earth.
it's been buried.
Yeah.
Where do you see flag?
I see it under the tree. Faded pink. I wonder what they flagged.
Alright, I lost my section too.
Is that burned wood? Is that why they flagged that? Area. No, I've lost it back here. Do you have it? Okay. Okay. Yes.
I can see you. You standing on it?
Standing on one edge.
Okay.
Well, looks like you just hugged a tree.
Oops. Quite long enough. Yeah? Okay. I'm still flagging the road. Lost the road. There's an amazing mark. Can do this. Maybe just a coincidence. We don't have that. Doesn't it look like 11? They're just striations.
I see green.
Oh, mark it for later.
Why don't we get Tom back?
Tom, are you far away?
Hey, Lonnie.
Could you? I have some sort of marker here, and it's got an 11 on it, which could just be from nature.
Hey, Lonnie.
Yes.
Can you come back?
Yes. Just 1 second. Oh, so you lost the road. You're just out here.
Well, I'm bushwhacking to find the road, and I found this.
Oh, that's great. So, we don't even know what side of the road it's on. That's
I gotta
terrific.
believe it's on the
Here,
west
here we
side.
are.
All right. Well, we can nail this one down then. Okay.
Good. Now we need the GPS.
And that's in my pack. Which is back
Tom,
there.
keep coming back. If you want to see marker 29. Yeah, maybe standing here for a while.
Have they found anything with a number on it, Mark?
Something that looked like an 11, but it's kind of vague.
I got a good one for you. Come on around here if you want a good shot.
Okay. Around this way?
Yeah, I think your better angle might be over here, looking down.
What have you got?
Ta-da! Have you guys found anything with a good number on it?
I just saw something that looked like an 11, but it could be from nature. Oh, that is nice.
This is the way they should look.
Okay,
So these have been put in-
22.
These are in concrete. And this is 29 as I read it.
Tom? 29. Number 29. This should be the western, the lagoon, yes.
So you're on the curb?
I'm on the curb. Here, see it? Aren't I? Right over to where you were. We flagged it to here.
It just confuses me that none of these are vertical. I guess they could all be knocked down.
There you go. Think of the overwash, all the force of the water.
Could be.
I don't know.
If you want to stand on that rock, I'm going to go down to that.
Standing on the rock.
All right. Go down there and see if it, I think it's probably going to be in line with what we got down there.
Are you just going to walk it off?
I'm going to shoot a bearing when I get down there.
Okay.
So.
It helps to have been a scout.
Yes.
Are you a Girl Scout?
Yeah. Did all the camp outs. Made all the sit-upons. Made Bunsen burners. Survived the wilds. In tents. Gary, can you see me?
I can now.
Okay.
Fine.
It's pretty squash, but I'll give you some energy. So
good news
there
about
could be one right over here for 17. Well, these are the oldest residents, the ones in bold.
Yeah.
So 21 is Tang
The
Orium.
good news about 29 is it's one of the older residence properties.
Right.
So it
The
should.
ones in bold are the ones we're really looking for, and that is
If
one.
we find the cookhouse for 29, then we
So,
could find artifacts
29,
that are
being
associated
right
with.
here.
I'm sorry.
29.
It sure does look like 29, doesn't it?
I'd say it's 29.
Sure
Which,
does.
which side of the street are we on?
Yeah, on the west side, southwest. I
We're on
guess.
the west side.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we should backtrack and find 28
Well, okay.
and
We've
go
also
over
got
there. And
we've also got 1718 or 1617.
right across over
Yeah,
the
John
other
found
side.
it right up here.
Oh, really?
That's what I've been yelling at you to come to.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that's
Not at all.
it's the mini barrels corner.
Okay.
It's the one we recorded in
Terrific. Oh, the one.
in '97.
Oh,
Oh, I
that's
see it
great.
back down that way.
Oh,
I thought it
okay.
was too, but it's here. So you've got 29. Okay. That's weird.
Were you expecting it? Huh?
Well, it's so easy to get disoriented in here.
And you've got 1617,
Yeah,
which has to be on the other side of the
on the east side.
Yeah, it's further up that way. Yeah. Actually, the map says it should be on across pretty much.
Of course, it's upside down. Maybe nicer to take it further away.
Come on around.
It's digital.
It is. Can flip it around.
We're a slave to old technology.
Okay, well let's flag this real well, and then try and figure out the relationship between this and that.
Do
This
we-
is our curb.
Well, this I think is part of the house marking, property marking. Our curb should be going this way
Yeah.
because our flagging tape that's on the curb is down there, and it lines up pretty well
Okay.
with this marker here
Okay.
for the southwest border of Sir Harry Luke.
Okay. Okay. So this is the west curb.
We'll put a double marker here or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, do you know if they were consistent in marking the same corner of every property? Okay.
Blackston doesn't say.
Okay.
But this is going to get us enough to work with.
Yeah, I mean, at least we have a definitive numbered property, and we can then look for a cookhouse. Then,
Be good if we could backtrack the road here.
right.
So with this information, Gary, what do you look for next?
You know, we found a well-marked property marker. It actually has the number 29 clearly marked. And then our first goal was to find a marker like this, and then the second goal is to try to locate the remnants of a cookhouse where the people living here would have cooked their meals. And then do some work within the actual cookhouse area, do some excavation to see if it yields artifacts that we can then compare with the kind of artifacts and then also the kinds of meals that people may have been eating on the 7 site in relationship to how it fits with what people were eating or using in the village.
This looks like road bear.
This entire curbway of the Sir Harry Luke Highway, we can decide where we want to clear to try to look for a cookhouse, and maybe clear 2 or 3 if we decide that's the best thing to do.
Right. I just thought it'd be great to find the others.
Yeah, that would be great. You do that.
So Gary, would you recap this for me? What has been found so far?
So far we found number 29, which is a marker of an owner of property early on in the years of the village occupation, late 1930s, early 1940s. We think we've also found 16 and 17, which are two other property boundaries for two other landowners, also from that same early era. At this point, if we indeed have 3 properties that we can search for a cookhouse on, or rather the remnants of a cookhouse, then I think we have enough site area to try to find one decent cookhouse remnant to excavate. And then once we do the excavation, start finding artifacts, start finding the kinds of bones or food remnants that these people were eating, to see how that compares to the burn features over on the 7 site. Are they similar, or are they very different? Hopefully that will tell us a little bit more about the 7 site and the kind of people who were staying there on a temporary basis. You're welcome.
So what are you doing now, Lonnie? You're trying to backtrack and...
I'm trying to fill in the perimeter of the road, so I'm backtracking between the flags. And every time I see a potential marker, I'm looking for numbers. See if we can find a house lot. But I think the road went through here. The trees often obscure the rocks. Gary, do you think it went right through here? Have you found anything?
Yeah. Pretty much from where you were standing.
Right here. Here's a rock, for instance, that's in the line.
Right towards that flag. Here's another one.
Good, okay. You want to flag that tree?
Yeah. I'm not seeing a number very clearly at all.
We're just backtracking the road, Tom.
Are you saying the road is here?
Yes.
This is the church.
That's what we're marking. Well, that's what we think.
And it's going in that direction.
I got a bearing of about 295 going that way.
What about this? No numbers on this either, right? Only it's flat.
Here is where is property corner 29?
Behind you, I believe.
What?
Behind you, I believe.
Behind.
Yes, behind.
so that you can justify this colony, you've got to quit spending your time keeping the government station clean in memory of the great Gallagher, and instead hustle your butts onto the property that I'm assigning to you and start raising coconuts. And most people did. So very probably Acura moved to that property in about 1949 from wherever he was before that. He's probably up here in the little village that was around the government station. And stayed there probably until 1963 when
Lonnie to Tom King, over.
This is Tom, go ahead.
I didn't hear you on mine.
This is Lonnie to Gary, over.
Go ahead, Lonnie.
I didn't hear you on mine.
You on 7?
Yeah.
Me too.
Because they're going right back to the 7.
This is King's. Better pick it up and leave it there. Got it here. Is that water looking murky to you, Rick?
It's always murky.
Like in 01, it was a lot more,
Was it?
a lot clearer. They've got their sheets of plywood, the PVC for the antenna, fuel for the boat.
They don't have the AUV with them,
They do.
do they?
Yeah, it's in there. We loaded it in and everything else that we didn't want to carry over the parking.
I hope their intention is to come in and unload before they launch the AUV.
I think you're right. They've got the solar battery packs too.
Add to the thing. All right, anything else we need?
Nope.
Wasn't that easy, was it?
I was going to say that actually looks pretty darn good.
Oh, maybe a bit positive. See how it comes up pretty quick?
So that's a little quicker than you want it to surface?
I think so, yeah. That seems pretty quick to me.
Okay.
Let's, the problem is, I don't know if we're going to be able to put a weight on it without securing it on there. I think he said about, it takes quite a bit. Did he say about 8 ounces? Something like that? that would be 4 of these. Actually, you know what we might even do is if we get it negatively buoyant, and then take
And then
one
take
off.
them off.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll it over, and I'll.
That will come out of this side.
With that.
Yep.
I'm supposed to just slide one in.
Trying one at a time. Or
These are smaller.
I'll put 2 in and see it. Ready? Is it,
Yeah, we might
is it a little nose heavy? Oh, that time it was. Maybe put it side by
We might, when we take it out one time, take it out, without the. Still pretty quick. I think we need to put more on. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
I just saw that, so. Let me.
Are we at the corner of 19 and 20 or 18 and 19? And that depends on whether your 65-foot thing was the whole parcel.
Yeah, well.
But if we are at the corner of 18 and 19, then pacing 100 feet back should have taken you to 29, unless 29 is really there, 200 feet back. Maybe we shouldn't confuse ourselves any further.
Maybe we should just go for it. So we've done our counting up until now and found what should be. Maybe we should continue on and see if there's another one the next.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do would be to do another 100 feet. And that, assuming that what we are at is the corner of 19 and 20, should bring us to the corner of 20 and 21.
Right.
And 21 is the target. So, when you're ready, why don't you pace another 100 from here?
Yes.
And we'll see what we can see.
Need to water up,
Yeah.
water down, or whatever.
Gary, do you remember whereabouts was that, the corner that we found back from the road a little bit? It was back that way, wasn't it? On this side?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's
Are you talking about the one with the steel post?
No.
Okay, because we found several corners. One of them had a steel post.
No. There was one where we were trying to find a road, and we had found the road, and then we found that it was a long wall with 2
Oh,
corners.
right.
That's going to be a house.
Which we
Yeah.
thought was a house foundation. Right.
That'd be
That
real
was
good.
back further this way, though, right?
I saw a corner of a house.
I'm not certain of that.
Okay.
The one with the steel post is that way. I'm not certain that the house might be
Well,
this
we
way.
could find it. We marked it, so we'll find it.
But it's marked, so we'll find it.
Okay.
The source of this document here.
This is a cleaned up version of Paul Laxton's sketch map of his division of lands as of 1949 and assignment of lands to individuals. And
Not
the
based on any
golden
measurements or anything you've taken before.
is just his sketch map. It's a tracing of his sketch map. And the golden arches there are indicate parcels that were owned by original settlers.
People you're looking for.
Yeah. The 1939 colonization party. And the guy who lived in 21, Acura, is particularly interesting because he was a very young man when he got here. Teenager, actually.
I was too.
So was Rick.
Rick still is.
Yep. like we all are, we wouldn't be here. But Acura, I figure, had time to fool around and pick up airplane parts
Find
and
stuff.
things like that. So, though it's not our goal to find airplane parts at that house site, you might as well look for them. Question is there a house on that house site, and is there a cookhouse on that house site, and can we find it?
So, just because he had the land doesn't mean he built a house,
True.
had a cookhouse.
Or that he ever cooked there. It probably means that he built a house. Because what Laxton did was he insisted that everybody move onto their land. He was reforming the governance of the colony.
Well,
And-
you said he got married, this guy, right? So
Acura? Yeah.
yeah, so that would have entitled him to the land.
Yeah. So what Laxton did was he said, okay, you guys have got to get your asses in gear and start producing copra.
Putting this thing together.
Okay.
Because, again, if I'm not here and you need to, for some reason, do it or know how to do it.
Now, because one thing you might have to do is replace the CO2 cartridge in the airbag. Yep.
So just hang with me for a couple minutes and then we'll
Okay.
split up. You can go do some GPS coordinates while I finish alt, and then I can come out with you and I can work on the...
Well, I don't know if we
buoyancy.
want to do that together, so there's some nice banter to record. And,
Right.
Just so, I mean, you know more about what kind of depth we need in the whole thing. So.
Yeah. Well, let's. What we'll do is we'll check on the fins. Now, what I'll probably do is send across. Well, I guess we're gonna know if we recover it at night. We're gonna know if there's a broken fin. We're not gonna fly it the next day anyway because of the charging. So,
Okay.
potentially, so we can just bring a fin back if we break one.
Right. Can I start pulling some of these?
Well, what we're pulling out is this small little tiny Allen. See it? This one.
Yep.
And then make sure those are in the center.
Okay.
So yellow ones are side and bottom. The orange one is the top. That way, just when it's cruising along, you can tell. You can spot it. Now, I didn't bring spare ones of these to the island with me, so
Don't drop it.
here's a. So you'll see they key in. See the key?
Oh, excellent. Can I tap a little on it? Or?
Just it'll if you just give it a
There we go.
give it a solid push, and they line up pretty well. It's all nicely machined, so that I found when I put it together for the first time, everything just slid into place. And you can tell pretty quick if the threads aren't going straight. The plastic holds it all in place pretty well.
Doesn't sound quite.
Yeah, so I noticed one or two of them were tighter than the others. Right, and then get the bottom one out. I can use this if you like. Which side?
Yeah. It does come out by hand. Got it.
There you go. And just slide it in basically so it's flush.
Is it, you can't see it, is it in all the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesse, what are you working on here? What's the story with this bit of technology you have?
So this is an AUV, which stands for Autonomous Underwater Vehicle. And what it will do, if you look here on the side, if you can follow my hand down, you see this is a side scan. There's one on each side. What we're going to do is we're going to program this and put it in the water, and what it does is it will pilot itself through the lagoon on a preset path. And as it's doing that, it's using the side scan technology, which will give us a two-dimensional image of the seafloor in any water conditions, basically, so black water, whatever, out to about 30 meters on either side. And then it'll go out for about 4 or 5 hours, and then we'll collect it, and then we'll download the data onto our laptop, and we can take that data and we can create a mosaic in a Google Earth image of the island, and we can see any potential targets that we might want to later dive on or put the ROV on or whatever. So it's just, it goes out, does its thing, we pick it up later, and then it'll give us an entire map of the lagoon, so we'll know what's down there. So then, well, so what I do is I put these straps on there. You can see they're our straps, and they just keep it all together. Let's pull those off. What I'll do is I'll show you. So
what is
it's
that?
pretty. This is the safety airbag. So the idea is this has got some safety parameters in it. If it gets stuck in something, doesn't have forward momentum for a certain period of time, you set the parameters in the mission. And then if those parameters, one of those is met, as in doesn't move forward for 7 minutes, then this can deploy an airbag and hopefully we'll pull it to the surface.
So this is trailing along behind the AUV the entire time, basically.
That's exactly right. So it'll just sit here and cruise along. The other nice thing is you get this nice bright orange thing to keep an eye on. So all you do is there's a seam right here. You can see there's a series of Phillips, and then there's a seam. And you just twist it and it'll break free, right? And there, in this yellow portion here, is where the CO2 cartridge is kept. That's stored. This is, so what we'll do, grab a CO2 cartridge. Okay. Now, the other thing we need to do, actually I will need to take it apart to hook up the, I've got a, that's all you do, Walt. Slip the cartridge in here.
Okay. And as you screw it down, it will...
it'll puncture.
It'll puncture.
Yep.
All right.
And there's a wasted one, so I put it on crooked.
Oh. That's why you bring a lot of spares.
Yeah. My mistake. Looked like it was going on straight. Maybe it does just...
That feels better.
Huh. Oh, it swivels. Ah, interesting. That moves for some reason. Okay, so we'll use the bigger one. This one here. Okay. Just it matches up the right size. And all we're going to do is pull out the end cap so that we can
attach that little
lead.
Electrical
connector. They disconnect everything when you ship it so the battery doesn't drain while it's in transit. If I can give you those, yep. There's 3 LEDs on it that indicate power and status and such, so we just need to make sure when we deploy this thing that those LEDs, I'll show you what they have to look like before we send it.
So and you've gone over the O-rings have been lubed and all that kind of stuff has been checked before.
Exactly.
Is that what the CO2 cartridge is for?
That's right.
Okay.
So there's a little airbag in here. So this will just get towed behind the AUV, and if there's a problem, it'll deploy. We'll also set it to deploy on certain. Ideally, we anticipate having to do 5 missions to completely survey the entire lagoon. So each of those 5 we'll actually set it to deploy because we've got 10. So we'll do one out here with a test, and then we'll just makes it a lot easier to find, I suppose. Okay. So that's that. From here, we need to take it out and trim it.
Okay.
So we'll just take it and dunk it in the salt water. And then I've got ballast weight. I'll actually go ahead and put a little bit on now.
Since is it trimmed for fresh now? Or
Yeah, exactly. So it was used in a lake. Here and here, so you can shift them
fore and aft,
and you can add and subtract. So what we want to do is trim it so it's just slightly positive.
I was reading about that last night, that you put a test weight on it and trim it for neutral buoyancy, and take the little test weight off.
I think we're going to need a fair bit. Let's do those on there to start with. I might move them a little bit. Start with them in the. Actually, you know what I might do? No, I don't suppose that matters. Okay. So we'll just put one screw in each end.
I'd love one. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll take that out with me, and the ballast weight. I don't need that. So we can take it and put it in the water. You happy with us to go out in the water with these things on? Sure. Okay.
Well, I don't want to get them wet.
Well, we're not going deep.
What?
We're just going
We're just going to go to
this deep.
thigh
That's
deep.
fine.
Okay.
Or not thigh deep, calf
Take
deep.
them off for that. Right. And I'll take this. All right. Well, we'll do the trim bit, and then while you're doing your GPS, I'll pull up the mission.
Okay. Well, I'm still not sure exactly. I'd really rather have you pick out the points, and I'll go ahead and name them and all that, just because. Just so when it screws up, it wasn't me who is selecting the course.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to see if it sinks. Wow. So it's going to take all that. I mean, like you guys were saying, it's a lot more
Salty in here.
salty in here than it is.
Yep, very salty environment.
Well, let's move that. Let's lock that one in place. I'm going to have to slide this. We're going to slide it all forward. We might have to rearrange it to do a fore and aft.
Okay.
But we'll start with, if you pull that one out. I'll pull that one out. There you go. Let's put it back in. Just leave one out. I'll just leave this one out for now. Yeah, try that.
Getting there.
Yeah, we might have to try and take it out a little further away to see if it's. I mean, it's trimmed pretty close. If anything, it is slightly light on the nose. Would be my. I'd be inclined to take that 8-ouncer and put it more in the middle. Still comes up pretty quick, doesn't she? I've only got 2 more little bits.
I'll try and get them
Put it all on?
What's that?
Should we put it all on?
Let's put it all on and see what
Put
happens.
it all on. Let's then go ahead and let's move the 8-ouncer into the middle. And we'll put these last couple bits
Where it's
on.
not quite such quicksand.
Okay. Got it. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Got you lined it.
Okay, just like lost gloves.
Did I get it in the water?
I don't think so. I think it's battery.
I think that looks pretty good. Oh, is it negative? Bring it, put it back on the rack. We'll shift the weights to the front, the heavier ones to the front.
See if I can get out of here without losing my
Here, I'll
shoe.
take this one. What it depends on is time of day, you know? I mean, right now we can deploy it from here.
Yeah, but at high tide,
It doesn't,
high tide's easy.
at the end of the day, see what we can do is we can pick a waypoint out there, all right? That can be waypoint number 1.
Okay.
And then if we put it on a low tide.
Yes.
So I think we'll go ahead and we'll get those markings of that place that we liked. Where was that?
That
Just
was
over.
down there. That was right at the edge of the beach there.
Was it? All the way down there?
We're right down where the trail came to Club Fred.
So then we can, I mean, once we figure out where we like to mobilize from, then we'll just mobilize from the same spot. So I guess we might as well park some of the gear down there, huh?
Well,
Or do you
let's
wanna
go take
go and
another
see it
look at it, mark it, and go from there. All right.
So it's going to cruise along at 2 knots. It's going to, high frequency, it's going to be 2 feet below the surface. Yep, okay, so we're happy with that. So now what we do is we save that mission. All right. Yeah, go ahead and save that. Now we got to log into that thing, which is a remote desktop. Communicates with this box here.
Has it been turned on? Do you have to turn it
Oh
on
yeah,
first?
good point. Good point.
You have
There's
to-
my little. There they are. So you
Okay.
get like a
So
little
just wander over there, and there's a little light.
clicker.
There's
Yep. So you push the small button.
a small button.
Sometimes it takes a couple of clicks, but you'll see the LEDs will pop on.
Okay.
Or we'll set our watch, do the stopwatch, and we can know exactly when we expect it back, and before we send out the search party. Yeah, what we'll also do for the actual missions, rather than the test missions, is we program an SRP, a safety return path, so that if something happens in a certain part of the mission, it can then follow a trail that we set, so it automatically goes to it. And what we'll do is we can set it so it's in, say, the middle. There we go. We're logged in. I.
Password.
I for Ivor.
Okay.
Okay. Now what we need to do is just transfer the mission file off of the computer onto Ivor. Right, what you have is you have a missions on Ivor folder.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So there's that. And then on the computer, it should be my documents, mission data, mission plans, and then we've got the... Is it me or is it still look nose?
Still a little nose light.
I would say so. Well,
Yeah, it seems like it's riding in the nose.
Yep, yep. Let's shift the, let's bring it back up on the stand. That'll be easier, I think. We'll shift the handle forward a tiny bit.
How far do you think?
Maybe up to...
Oh, that far?
Yeah, fair ways, isn't it? A little bit more, maybe? There we go. Okay, now what we want to do is make sure let's line it up here so we're not perfectly in the center. We don't want it now to go. Okay. Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's maybe a touch heavy in the nose now. I don't know.
Push it down and see how it rises. Let's just see what it's. Yep, you're right. Went too far.
Want to give it one more adjustment?
Yep, I think we'll just go split the difference maybe.
Okay.
And then we're good to go.
Well, it's easy enough to see where it was before.
Yeah. Yeah, the mark, the rub mark. Is it about there?
And just be centered a little.
Is that
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready?
Double check it, and that should be yes. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. I'm happy with that. Certainly for the trial run, see how it goes. But I think that's pretty solid.
Okay.
Okay, let's get our
Put it on the rack and
waypoints. And we'll decide where we're going to deploy it from. We can move it to wherever. Okay. So if you look on this map here, is this where we are, or are we up here? Are we in this?
where's the landing channel?
Here.
No, I don't think we're there. We're up in here. We're up in
that's
here,
right.
there.
We're in this
See
one here?
landing channel. We're right about where that is, right there.
We're in here somewhere.
Yep. Because that's the entrance to Crab City right there.
Okay. Okay.
And this is Club Fred, the beach south of there to there. So
we're approximately.
yeah, probably something like that. I would say that we're in further towards the vegetation.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Oh, but you're just setting it a first waypoint outside the.
Yeah, you give it a.
Outside.
What I'm gonna do is turn it.
Tell you what, I'm gonna go grab a waypoint at the reef side.
Okay.
Jesse, are you setting a starting point for it now?
So I'm setting a search grid. So you've got a starting point, and then you set up like a lawnmower pattern. So it'll go up, zzz, 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 do a couple passes, and then what you do is you set a return path. And at that return path, it will park itself for however long. We're going to tell it 60 minutes. And we're gonna tell it to deploy the airbag, test everything there. So I'm just doing a short test mission. That's all we're gonna do. So then if I go and zoom in here, so according to that's a 39-minute. Okay, so if you give me, see, we can have it so it goes to about there, goes to about there.
Okay, tell me when you're ready to copy.
2 and then 15. Okay, Can you? What's your? You can't do decimal.
Decimal degrees?
Yeah. Can you?
I might be able to.
Let me. I might be able to change here. Hold on. Here we go. I can change it. What are you in?
Decimal minutes.
Okay. There. Okay. What's your approximate?
Latitude is south 4 degrees.
Yep.
40.349 minutes.
349.
349.
Okay.
Longitude is west 174
Yep.
degrees. 32.216 minutes.
216. Okay, by 40.3. 40 point what?
I just cleared it. Let me go back there. Okay, 4 degrees, 40.349 minutes.
349, okay.
And 174 degrees.
Yep.
32.216 minutes.
216 by 40.32. Oh, quick clearing it.
4 degrees south.
Yep.
40.349.
Okay, by 32 point.
32.216.
Okay, so here's according to.
All right.
That's where your coordinate on the chart puts us. So it's probably not too far off, is it?
Excellent.
Where the tip of the cursor is.
Yep.
Probably pretty good.
The entrance to Crab City is this
Okay.
wash right here.
Well,
so our georeferencing is actually quite good.
Okay, well, that
That's
validates
feature
the
you're
chart
looking at
we're
behind
using
you.
as well, because there could be some, some parts that are off there. So then we're going to bring it back over here so that it comes relative. So it should just park itself, kind of over in there. It doesn't have to be miles away. Now let's see. Let's just check, make sure. Okay. We'll just take it, drag it on there. Okay. That's literally all it is. All right. Now we go back to the Ivor underwater vehicle console. Double click there. That boots up our program. You'll see up here.
Yep.
It says load mission.
Okay.
You'll see your mission's already there.
Yep.
You double click that. It'll say no SRP found because we didn't write one for the test run. So we'll cancel. Checking the different bits. All right. So it tells us the run time is 39 minutes, 39 minutes and 18 seconds. All right, and it's mission area, SRP mission loaded, no. Waypoint success radius, so it's turning around these waypoints. Let's see, there's no camera, well, that's fine. Maximum pitch, side scan, yes. Deploy tow float at park location, yes. And that's number of waypoints, average speed, so it's all pretty straightforward. So now what we'll do, put it in the water, and we control it, drive it out just for a second, make sure that's all, and then we basically push the
go button.
The go button.
Okay.
Let's take.
Now
you
say
grab
we
the yellow
need to
box.
Push this closer to the beach.
We'll just bring it out of the beach. Just extends the range. Set it in the shade.
Okay.
Okay. That's fine.
Now when
If
I
you
put
place
this
it in the water,
don't have to do anything fancy with it, do I?
Nope, nothing different than what you did. Just point it out. Hold on. Sorry, 1 second. There's some LEDs on the floats. You gotta hold it for a second. Right there. Yeah, it's flashing green, so it should be all okay.
Okay, are we ready?
Oh wait, sorry. Nope, sorry. One last thing is I need to initialize.
You're going to do something to check the operation of the motor and the fin.
Float. Yeah, we do that. Yep.
It had never been our intention to map the lagoon. This is a complete bonus. We've often wondered whether airplane wreckage at some point may have washed through the mouth of the lagoon and be laying on the bottom of the lagoon somewhere, but the lagoon is so murky and so big,
It'd be about
so
right
there's
for
no
us
real
then.
practical way to search for it. But
So that
here we
tells
have
me
this,
accurate.
this
I'm
little
happy
guy out
with
here
that.
swimming around. He's going to map the entire lagoon with side scan sonar. And if there are any unusual features on the bottom of the lagoon, we ought to be able to see them. And then we can, with divers, go and eyeball them because the lagoon's not very deep.
Cool.
So it's a complete
Still see
bonus.
it.
It's something we didn't expect to
yeah.
be able to do. Whether there's
Still
any airplane
not
parts in the lagoon,
100% confident in the
I don't know,
airbag
but
thing.
we're going to
I
find
got to
out.
do some reading on that.
And that's real good.
Seems like whether the speculation about whether there was anything ever in the
Oh, I see
lagoon
the
was always
AC.
something that was brought up, discussed, and talked about many times, and it was just always a big I don't know.
Yeah, well, the question of whether there was anything in the lagoon worth searching for has been debated many times and discussed, but with no
well,
practical
try to
way
remember to bring in
test
some,
the hypothesis.
bring the
All you can
binoculars.
do is talk about
That'd be
it.
kinda cool.
You know, that's
I
the
remembered
key.
it
You have to.
when I went out
It's
on
fine
the
to have
last
a
mission
theory.
with
It's
Seattle.
fine to have a hypothesis,
I
but if you
remember to
can't
bring in
test it,
bring
it's
them
pretty
in.
meaningless.
Spotted every once in a while.
Now
And if
the
it would be near a
discussion
boat,
of whether there are airplane parts in the
can look,
lagoon
some people out fishing
suddenly,
back,
by
keep an eye on
virtue of the
make sure
AUV, becomes a
I was
testable
always worried
hypothesis,
they'd catch it with
and we're
fishing
going to
lines.
test it. That's great.
I can still see it.
Let's set this out.
Good. All right. We'll start the mission. Testing fins. Get the green light for everything. Mission starting in 1, 0, 0, set to 0. Okay, so it should take off now. And there she goes on her mission.
So basically, be back here at 4 o'clock, and you'll be sitting there for it.
Did I just make sure I didn't disconnect? Is it still going? No, I think I've ended it. Sorry, that's.
Did you
I
disconnect the server?
I guess I did it too soon. That's my only thing. I can't quite. I haven't got the timing down on that. Unfortunately, that only takes a second.
Will it reconnect with it sitting out there?
Yeah, I should. Okay, I've got it going again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now what I do is So did you log the start time?
3:18.
3:18.
So 39 minutes, basically 4 o'clock.
Yep. So what it'll do is it'll go out to that first waypoint. It's driving itself to that first waypoint, and then it'll head to number 2. It'll do the first 3 waypoints are all on the surface, so we can watch it. We probably should. Do we have any binoculars? Can we bring binoculars? I forgot to pack. Not, I mean today, but are there any on the boat?
Yeah, there are definitely ones on the boat.
We can bring them, and then you can spot it, because we can tell what it does is it'll go out, it'll do a run, it'll pop up at either end, so we can actually know where to expect it if we get paranoid about never seeing it again. Seems to be fine. I think a little nose light is the only thing that I'm not too sure, but I don't know if that's just because it's on the surface chop. It's got a ways to go. This first dive point is out in the middle. Which doesn't help because I should have had it. I'll have one where it starts close to shore because then you can see when it dives. It kind of trucks along though. I'm pretty excited about having this because I just think that by the end of it we're going to have a complete underwater map of the entire lagoon, which is going to be pretty neat. Yeah, that'll be pretty neat. So I mean, this will give us an indication of what the data is going to look like, I think.